Today I'm working on a Volkswagen 2-liter TSI. This is in the GTI Mark 6, and it has a fault that it threw. It's a P2015, really common fault. It's for this, the fault saying this position sensor underneath the oil filter here at the end of the intake is a implausible signal. The problem is not with the position sensor. I've never seen one of those fail. It's on the other side. They revised this intake and they have a newer style that kind of solves this problem, but that's a few $100s and a few hours of labor. And a company called ECS Tuning came up with this little fix. I've never installed one of these before, so I can't say whether or not I think this is the fix. You know, I'm not really sure, but if you look at it, it's a pretty simple part, and it looks like it's made pretty well, and it seems to me like it'll resolve the problem. The problem is on this valve here, the mechanical stop actually wears out. It's all just plastic. The pivot point kind of in here, it kind of fails, and then it starts to put side load on this this arm, and then it kind of moves slightly past the stop, and then that's what causes implausible signal, because I think it falls off the sweep on the sensor, and it gives it a reading that wasn't designed for. So this fix here, this little aluminum piece, goes over the top of this in here, and it gives it a mechanical stop. So it actually gives it something to slam up against, and it also seals the end that gets sloppy and sometimes causes a vacuum leak. So if you look at this one, there's two different style early intake manifolds. There's this one that has a little piece protruding out the end where the valve is, and there's another one that's flush. And the directions they kind of show you if you download the PDF file from ECS Tuning. You can see it tells you which one to use right here. It says this one here is where it's flush. You use the fatter spacer. This is everything that comes in the kit right here. I have the I guess the later manifold that has this little section protrudes out right here, so I use the thinner shim. Yeah, that one is flush, and then it uses the fatter shim. So you take this, you stick it in here like that. Comes with blue Loctite, so you squirt a little bit of blue Loctite on all these little Allen bits, and then you little set screws, and then you get them started. You get them started so that they're flush with the you know, they don't protrude into this thing. They're just kind of, they're in there a few threads, so it's easy to work in place. So I'm going to do that right now. Now I have these screws all started. I put a little bit of grease on this washer to kind of keep it into place, just so it doesn't fall out on me, this little nylon spacer. And I'm going to snake it into place here. So there's quite a bit of rotation here. So what you want to do is you want to turn it so that it kind of lightly hits that stop on you know, clockwise, so this way, and before you start tightening those screws. And then once you put a little bit of tension on them, you want to make sure that this arm here, the arm you're actually working on, once you put some tension on these screws, it won't do that. You want to make sure that the arm moves through its entire range like it should. So now the trick is trying to get to these screws. Looks like you can get to this one fairly easy, pretty straight shot. The other ones you're gonna have to kind of do a quarter turn at a time, and you're gonna have to fight with that a little bit, but I'm gonna work on getting those in position right now. The Allen that the kit comes with has a ball end on it, which is kind of helpful. You know, you can get a little bit of a weird angle on it if you need to get these things tight. And you don't want to murder them, you just want to tighten them a little bit, and because it's going into a plastic housing and it doesn't need a lot of tension. This isn't going to be under a bunch of load or anything like that. So I'm going to start working on tightening those 3 set screws now, and then show you how it looks. Alright, now I have this thing installed. Very careful with the set screws. You don't want to really tighten them much. You just want it to bump up against the plastic housing, and then that's it for them. That's why they put Loctite on those. If you put any more tension on it, like I just did, it'll make the shaft bind a little bit at the pivot, and then you'll feel this when you go to do your check right here and you move this door. You'll feel it has a little bit of resistance on it, and it's hanging up. So you just want to check that afterwards, make sure that it's returning fully. So once you let go, make sure it's returning fully. And if it's not, loosen up your set screws, wiggle it around a little bit, and then come back at it again. You know, you just want to very light tension on those things. And that's about it. The orientation of this will look like, it's kind of hard to show from this angle, but it'll look like the ECS is pretty much running parallel to the actuator arm, or close to it. Not exact, but pretty close to parallel to that. So that's how it should look. Do your final little check, clear your engine light, take it for a spin. So I'll make another video if for some reason this doesn't, if I have some kind of a failure related to this, or if the fault comes back or anything like that. But from how this looks, it seems to me like they did a pretty good job of designing this little part, and it's $60 or $70. It's cheaper than replacing your intake manifold, and I think it'll take care of the problem. So thanks for watching.